Welcome class back to chapter 4, adding images. This video is going to cover our assignments. Okay, so just coming down the assignments module in your chapter 4 page. So looking at what we just covered in the first 4 lessons. So just some modifications to the directions, and I think I covered all of those as we were going through the lessons. And then we have blooms and bulbs, which is pages 30 through 33. And again, some modifications that you need to be aware of on these pages. So the JavaScript error, insert edge web font code before the head tag. So just make sure you're going through these modifications and applying them as you go through. So what you're going to come out with blooms is you're going to be looking at 2 images as well as a favicon. But this image is going to have the class image float applied to it. This one is going to have the class image float right. So we're not just going to practice just the left floating, but we're going to practice the right floating, which is good experience, so you can apply it to coffee shop as well. So all of those instructions are here. The adding the 2 roses and using image float right are here. Just be careful when you're creating your classes of image float and image float right that you're really paying attention to the wording. Does it say global? Does it say tablet? Those kind of things you want to be looking at. So questions on the skills review for blooms, just shoot them my way. Then we get into TripSmart. I gotta get there first. Okay, so TripSmart is going to have you apply, okay, even more. It's not going to say, hey, create image float right. So, but what I'm going to do here is kind of summarize it for you. So you're going to be using a data file 4_3, and you're going to be saving it as the tourist file. So we're going to be inserting statues. This is a view of statues, or the statue's image on the tourist page. If I jump to the next one, you're going to see that kind of applying the same thing that we did with blooms. So let's go, and I'm just going to open up Notepad here, and I'm going to tell you that this is what I want you to create. So globally, so your global styles, you're going to create an image float. You're going to have a float of none. You're going to have a border. You can do whatever you want for border color, border style, the border size, and then you're going to have your margins. Okay, so that is global. Okay, in tablet, you are going to have a float of left. Okay, and this is for, let's do image float here. Okay, so a float of left. Okay, that's the only thing that you need to set, because remember, borders and margins set in the global section will inherit to tablet and to desktop. Okay, then in global, you're also going to have an image float right, and again, you're going to have the same properties. Then in tablet, you're going to have an image float right. And again, we're going to set a float of right this time. So that's going to be the differences between global and tablet. Okay, so they go through and they say, number 7 says, if you would like, use the existing rules in the style sheet to add in additional formatting to the page. Okay, so you can copy and paste those out of code view into your TripSmart_styles. You're welcome to do that, but or you can create them, and then you're going to go ahead and insert the favicon as well. You get stuck, you just gotta let me know. Okay, let's jump over to coffee shop. So jumping into the portfolio project. And looking at my instructions as well. So it says, in addition, use Pixabay to find an image for your banners. So you're going to have a banner that is going to be for your smartphone, and you're going to have a banner that is going to start for tablet, and it's also going to be used for desktop. These are the sizes that I want you to shoot for. So 250 in the width, okay? And then the height is going to be either 80 to 100, and you can go beyond that. You just have to be, testing it to see what it looks like. And then tablet desktop, you're going to go for about a width of 950, And you could probably go all the way up to the height of 200 for your banner. You just don't want your banner to take up a large chunk of your display when you initially open up the page. Avoid images at pixabay.com that have the Shutterstock watermark on them because you have to pay for them. So we want to, use the ones that are royalty free, and we can just go ahead and download them. Generally, an image size of medium or large will be sufficient enough to crop to your banner sizes. And then you can use Photoshop because you've already had that experience in your CIS 210 class. So if you don't have that experience, just contact me and we'll work around that. And then you're going to add the banner for mobile. And so we did that. Remember, in Stripe and Umbrella, we looked at the header div in the global section, and we also looked at header_div in the tablet section. So you would just go ahead and modify those to the images that you're going to use. So again, background size resource that we looked at, and then you can view this video demonstration where I go through looking at Pixabay and go through kind of applying the images there. So if you get stuck on this, please let me know. So this is why I'm giving 2 weeks for this particular chapter, because I want you to spend time on the image and I want you to spend time on applying it into Coffee Shop. Because the concepts that we covered in our lessons, they probably wouldn't take us more than a week, okay? And using Blooms and TripSmart wouldn't take us more than a week to go through that. So I'm giving you the extra time to actually apply what we've learned in Chapter 4 and beyond, because there's some things that I've kind of pushed you outside of the book to do, to apply here for Coffee Shop. And then also you'll have your Chapters 3 and 4 tests. So that's why it jumped into a 2-week chapter. So you can use this as a guide as well for your Coffee Shop to set up your image floating as well. So if there's questions, all you need to do is ask, okay? Thank you.